Hey guys, so today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys every single book in my physical TBR, which there are a lot. So recently I decided I need to reorganize my little TBR area, which is that cart right there in this bookshelf behind me, because once again I just ran out of room and I have to redo how I stack them and put them all on the shelf. So this is gonna be interesting, and I have it sort of separated, but not really. It's kind of, some things are a little mishmash, but let's go ahead and get started because I feel like this is probably going to take a while. So I'm going to be starting off with all of my romance books, and first we have Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, which everyone raves about. The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, and then Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. And then I have Dark Secession and Heated Rivals, which are both by Katie Roberts. I think these are some of her newly authentically published books. And then I have The Heartbreakers by Ali Novak, which is a Wattpad book. Then I have The Heart Principle by Helen Wong. And then I have 9 Days and 9 Nights by Katie Coutinho, I think is how you say it. Then we have some more Christina Lauren with Something Wilder. Then I have The Royals Next Door, and this is by Karina Halley. And then I have Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon, which super excited to get to this book. I've had it since Christmas and I seriously need to get to it. Then I have Lease on Love by Fallon Ballard. And then I have the duet, The Rebel King and The Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan, because those recently got published by Bloom. And then I have the Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. And then I have Drive by Tamara Lush, which is another Wattpad book. Then I have Funny You Should Ask by Alyssa Sussman. And then Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. Have these for quite a while and I need to get to them. Then I have The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. The Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez, which I think is the second book to the Friend Zone book. Then I have Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey. And then I have a bunch of Krista and Becca Ritchie books. I have Addicted to You, Ricochet, Addicted for Now, Kiss the Sky, and then Hot House Flower. And then I have Summer Girl by Elle Kennedy, which is her newest book. Then I have You've Reached Jam by Dustin Thau. The Rewind by Allison Wynne Scott. And then I have another Helen Wong book, The Quiz Quotient, which I still need to get to these books at some point. And then I have Lunar Love by Lauren Kung Jessen. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And then I have How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. Next I have X's and O's by Amy Leah. And then there's One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And then I have more of the Off-Campus series. I have The Mistake, The Goal, then I have The Score and The Legacy. So I have all of the rest of the Off-Campus series. Then I have 2 Monica Murphy books. I'll have I'll Always Be With You and Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did. And then I have Meet Me Halfway by Lillian T. James, which I actually got from watching another booktuber's whole TBR video. And then I have Pretend You're Mine by Lucy Score. Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. Then I have both The Spanish Love Deception and The American Roommate Experiment by Elena R. Moss. Then I have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. And then I have The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. As you see, got another big stack of romance books. I have In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. And then I have a bunch of Megan Quinn books. I have So Not Meant to Be. And then I have A Long Time Coming. And then I have A Not So Meet Cute and Royally Not Ready. Then I have The Unwanted Marriage by Katharina Mora. Then I have Stinger by Mia Sheridan, and I also have Grayson's Vow by Mia Sheridan. I have Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Then I have When in Rome by Sarah Adams. And then Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey, which I decided to get this instead of, I think it's Secretly Yours, because I just thought this would be a better book for me. And then I have King of Wrath by Anna Wong. And then I have Be With Me by Jessica Consolo, which I'm excited for this because it's a continuation of a Wattpad series I love. And then I have Sins for Cigarettes, and I think to pronounce the author's name is Genesius. I could be wrong. And then I have The Stopover by T.L. Swan. And then I have Beautiful Bastard and Beautiful Stranger, which are both by Christina Lauren. And then I'm going to finish off the romance books that I have. I have the first two Bridgerton books and Through You, which I need to reread again because I kind of skimmed through it. So those are the last two like real romance books that I have on my physical TBR. So now I'm going to do all like my mystery and my horror books. And first off, we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And then we have The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which is by Stuart Turton. Then I have one that like everyone on BookTube seems to love, and that is If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. Super excited about this one. Then we have a big stack of Stephen King's that I still need to read. I have Carrie, The Mist, Mr. Mercedes, Sleeping Beauties, Pet Cemetery, and this is The Outsider. And then I have Dr. Sleep, and then I have Cujo, and this is like a really old copy of Cujo that I found at a used bookstore. And then I have 11/22/63, which kind of scares me because this one's a huge book. So then I have The Club by Ellery Lloyd, and this was a Reese Witherspoon book club book one month. And this is She Started It by Sian Gilbert, and this was a book of the month that I just haven't gotten to. Then I have The Ballerinas by Rachel Capelt Dale. Then I have You and Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepps, and this is the Netflix series. Then I have 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard, and this is like a COVID kind of like murder mystery. And then I have One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next, and this is by Karen M. McManus. And super excited to read these because I want to watch the show that they made for it. And then I have The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, Blackout by Kay Monroe, and this is another Wattpad book. I always find super good Wattpad books, so super interested in this one. Then I have The Final Girls Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I have Tell Me Lies by Carola Levering. Then I have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. And then I have Verity by Colleen Hoover, which I have not read because I'm just so scared because this has been such a hyped book and I'm just scared it might not live up to the hype. So maybe I'll read it soon, but I don't know. I'm nervous about this one. So finally, we're at the biggest like stacks that I have, and that is all of my like fantasy books because I have a ton of them because I like to buy the whole series before I read a book. So first, I have Castles in Their Bones by Laura Sebastian. I have The Dark King by Gina L. Maxwell. Then I also have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. The Liar's Crown by Abigail Owens. And I bought this at Target mostly because the cover. Covers sometimes will be the reason I choose a book. And then I have King of Battle and Blood and Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett St. Clair. And I don't know, I tried to read her like Hades and Persephone books and didn't like them, so I decided I'd give this one a try and maybe it would be different, but we'll see. And then I have The Night in Its Moon by Piper CJ, and once again I am obsessed with this cover. And then I have Stranded by Sarah Daniels. Then I have Pestilence by Laura Thalassa, which I read her whole entire Rhapsodic series, so I'm excited to start this one. And then I have Beast of Prey by Ayana Gray. I also have Realm Breaker and Blade Breaker by Victoria Aveyard, who also wrote the Red Queen series. And then I have Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. And covers, like I said, a cover like this is so intriguing. And then I have Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, which, once again, this is another rage book that I've seen all over Book Talk, so I'm interested to see what this is like. Also, I didn't even realize there was a snake on the cover when I got this, and I am low-key intimidated by it now, so there is that. And then I have These Violent Delights and Our Violet Ends by Chloe Gong, and this I think is set in like an Asian kind of area, so I'm excited to read that because I like it when authors put more of like a culture aspect into their books. I find that really fun to read. Then I have The Priory of the Orange Tree, which I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is intimidating, so that's probably why I have not gotten to this book yet. And then I have The Ballad of Songbird and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which I definitely need to read this book before the movie comes out, because the movie looks so good and I just want to have read the book so I can have a comparison when I see it. And then I have Lore by Alexandra Bracken, and I'm super excited for this one because I think it's like mythology and I'm super into all those kinds of books. So we have almost made it completely through my TBR, but we still have 4 more stacks to go, so I'm gonna try to speed run this as fast as possible. But next I have the Delirium series, which is Delirium, Pandemonium, and then Rakim by Lauren Oliver. Then I have Daughter of the Siren Queen, and that is by Tricia Levenseller. Then I have Graceling, which is by Kristen Kishore. And then I have This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi, who wrote the Shatter Me series, so this is definitely one I am excited about. Then I have the whole Cinder series, which is Cinder, Scarlet, and then Cress. And then I have City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, which I tried to read this back in like 6th grade, but I'm trying to read the series again as like an adult, so that's going to be super interesting. Then I have Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I read the first one and I just haven't gotten to the second one yet. Then I have An Unkindness of Magicians, which is by Kat Howard. Then I have To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. And this one I've heard a lot of good things about, so excited for this one. And then I have my entire Divergent series, which is Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant, and then 4. And I have the new covers, which that is probably like one of my favorite things about the series, is the new covers that I have for it. So then I have These Twisted Vows and These Hollow Bonds, and this is by Lexi Ryan, and this is a little duet. I think I mentioned before like how gorgeous these covers are for this fantasy series. And then I have several of the books from the 5 Crowns of Orchid series. I have The High Mountain Court, which is by A.K. Mulford, The Witch's Blade, and then I have The Rogue Crown. And then I have another series. I have A Broken Blade by Melissa Blair, and I also have the sequel, A Shadow Crown. And I'm excited about this because I have the Barnes & Noble edition, so I'm super excited for this one. And then I have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, which I know I need to get to this book because it's such a popular one. Then I have its sequel, The Atlas Paradox. And then I have a few like more kind of standalones here. A Ruin of Roses by K.E. Breen, I think is how you pronounce it. Then I have Creatures of the Night by Grace Collins, which is another Wattpad book I found. I have Radiant Sin by Katie Roberts, which is part of her whole Greek mythology books. And then I have Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. Then I have some more series books. I have The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman, The Subtle Knife, and then The Amber Spyglass. Then I have the last two Shadow and Bone books. I have Sage and Storm and Ruin and Rising. And then this is one, I'm still working on getting all of the rest of the books in this series, but it's the series that like inspired True Blood, the Sookie Stackhouse novels by Charlaine Harris. I have Dead to the World, Dead as a Doornail, Club Dead, Living Dead in Dallas, and then Dead Until Dark, which I just repeated those to you backwards, but this I'm super excited about because I loved the series True Blood, so definitely excited about this series on my TBR. So then I have Illuminae, which is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have Small Favors by Erin A. Craig. Then I have a series. I have the Furyborn series by Claire Legrand, which has the first book, Furyborn. Then you have Lightbringer, and then you have Kingsbane, which, I don't know. I'm not really into YA, but I've been trying to get into like more YA books, so hoping that'll help me get more into it. Then I have Of Cages and Crowns by Brianna Joy Crump, which is, these are, the next few are Wattpad books, by the way, we'll say that. I have Downworld by Rebecca Phelps, and then Crossbones by Kimberly Vale. Then I have Guild by Raven Kennedy, The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas, From Blood and Ash, which is by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Then I have Aragon by Christopher Paolini. And I have American Queen by Sierra Simone, Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. And then I have The Last City by H.J. Nelson, and then Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy. I almost said that wrong, but I caught myself. So now I have some books. I wasn't really sure which stack to put them in, so I just kind of put them in one big miscellaneous stack. And first off, I have The First to Die at the End, which is by Adam Silvera. And I read the first one and I wasn't a big fan, so maybe I'll like this one more. It is the prequel to They Both Die at the End. Then I have Westworld Psychology and The Walking Dead Psychology, which is called Psych of the Living Dead, because I'm really interested in like the psychology within like the characters of those shows. And then I have Normal People by Sally Rooney. And I have The Paradise Trilogy by Ellen Hildebrand. Then I have The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is by Stephen Chbosky. And then I have Before Your Memory Fades and Tales from the Cafe, which is by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. And I read the first one and absolutely loved it, so really need to get into these books. So my last stack is all of the memoirs I have collected throughout the years, and I have Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham, and she is the person who plays the mom on Gilmore Girls. Then I have #Girlboss by Sophie Amoruso. And then I have Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. And then I have You Are a Badass and You Are a Badass Every Day. Happy People Are Annoying, and this is by Josh Peck. God Bless This Mess by Hannah Brown. Born to Shine by Kendra Scott, who literally makes my favorite jewelry. I'm literally wearing all Kendra Scott jewelry right now. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which I'm super excited to read this book because everyone says good things about it. Then I have Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. Love Pamela by Pamela Anderson. And then this is one I'm really excited about, is I Want to Be Where the Normal People Are, which is by Rachel Bloom, who was in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. So those are all of the books that I have on my physical TBR. I think it's safe to say I have a problem, and that problem is buying books and then never reading them. But I also am in school, so I haven't had as much time to read books, but we're counting down the days to graduation, and after graduation, hopefully I will read more, which means I will have more videos to make, so I'm super excited about that. Plus, I'm still reading as I'm in school, just not as much, so I'm just super excited to read all of these books. I absolutely love reading, so I love books, so until next time, see you guys.